name is Dawson Moss, and today I'll be book talking The Princess Saves Herself in This One by Amanda Lovelace. I'm very interested in poetry, but it's the style and voice of Lovelace that truly caught my eye. Her unique use of extended metaphors, structure, and syntax is what differentiates her from traditional or standard poetry. Inside of the poetry itself, it describes different stages in the princess's life, but really it's Amanda Lovelace, so she's basically kind of the main character in this entire collection. Lovelace actually started out on Tumblr typing short stories and poems. A lot of people liked her work, so a bunch of people encouraged her to go get her work published. And she actually got something published. That being said, this collection takes place in modern society from Amanda Lovelace's first-person point of view. Now, diving into the text, the reader must know what they're actually going to be reading. The content in this poetry collection is pretty heavy. Even at the beginning of the book, there's a trigger warning basically saying that this contains sensitive material relating to the following: child abuse, intimate partner abuse, bullying, sexual assault, self-harm, eating disorders, queerphobia, menstruation, alcoholism, racism, trauma, death, suicide, grief, cancer, fire, and possibly more. So if you're not used to reading heavy content, this book can be an emotional challenge. The beginning starts with a section titled The Princess. It begins to slowly bring the reader into the poems, describing who the princess is and her opinion on fairy tales. The middle section is titled The Damsel. This is the more heavy part of the collection, where Lovelace describes past events that have damaged her and changed her in various ways. The language is strong and so are the topics, so this content has some gravity to it. Now, even though that trigger warning is given at the beginning, it's not all about those. There are some high points inside of this collection. To show off Lovelace's structure, style, and syntax, I'll be reading a poem out loud, and then I'll show it on the screen so that you can see it. Now keep in mind that the main character is Amanda Lovelace. What are you going to do with your English degree? I plan to crack open the skulls of masses and plant a colorful garden in every brain. I'm going to lace together a necklace of words for everyone I meet. For once in my life, I'm going to make sure somebody finally hears me. I don't know. And it's okay not to know. So here's the poem on screen. As you can see, there are quotations, indentations, and there's also strike-throughs. Now whenever you see this or read it, it has a completely different meaning. Basically what this does is allow the reader to see, oh, well she's thinking all these things in her head, but she's really scratching them out. And then at the very end, she replies with just, I don't know. So if you're interested in social issues, you might check out this book, because it's definitely different from just a normal novel. A book that's similar to this one is Milk and Honey by Rupi Kaur. It definitely has some similarities, so if you like that book, or if you never heard of it, you might check that out, or if you have heard of it and read it, this might be a book you want to read. Overall, this really isn't a hard book to read. The diction is simple, it's low, it's conversational. The structure, however, it can be a little harder, and it's always used for effect or meaning. Even though the title of the collection is The Princess Saves Herself in This One, it's not about, like, a girl who doesn't need a shining armor to come save her. That's just not what this poetry collection is about. Overall, I found this book to be empowering because it's very different from some of the other poetry that I've read, and it definitely gave me a different take on all these different issues in society. Again, it's The Princess Saves Herself in This One by Amanda Lovelace.